So we ended off last video by adjusting some of the anchor points for these. And again, the reason why I want to adjust those anchor points is because when this plasma comes around, I don't want it to have to cut out this white part here. Because every pierce that a plasma cutter makes, it will, it lessens the life of it. So it also just cuts way faster, and there's lots less chances for error. So if I, again, select these using the direct select tool, I can move some of these points around, or I can just highlight a few of them and move them. Oops, I grabbed the edge there. I don't want to do that. Now I can grab these and move them around a little bit. Everyone needs to be super careful because I'm not going to be, how these look, it doesn't need to be super precise. And there's a small gap here, and the gap might be too small for the laser to come, or for the plasma to come in here. So I'm going to move these over too. Let's zoom out and see what I have left. Looking pretty good. Looks like I've got a little bit of work to do over here. So I'm going to do that work too. And zones like this, the plasma is not going to be big enough, or it's too small for the plasma to go in there. So what I can do with these is, if I want to keep it, I just make the area a little bit bigger to increase the chances of it being able to get in. Or I just know that the plasma likely isn't going to be able to cut that part. And that's okay. There, I've got my design. I think I'm about ready to go. The only thing I need to do now is I need to cut some, or draw some areas for some relief cuts that I'm going to put in here. Now to do that, I'm going to do it on a new layer. So I'm going to go down here, hit the plus, and I'm going to call this relief cuts. So now I'm going to make sure that I'm working on this layer here, and I'm going to draw some lines that are going to end up being my relief cut. So I'm going to hold down shift to make sure my lines are straight. I'll draw it to the size that I want to draw it. Go to my transform tools. And if you remember, it was supposed to be, my lantern sides were 10 inches tall. I'm going to make the length of this, or the height in this case, be such that I have an 1/8 inch gap here, or tab, and an 1/8 inch tab there. So that would be 10 inches, take away 1/8, take away 1/8. That's going to be 9.75. Now I'm going to use my alignment tools again to make sure that this is aligned properly. So I'll grab my selection tool, select the line, and I want it to be in the middle, between the top and the bottom edge of my lantern side. So if I select them, now I can grab, let's see, what am I going to use here? I want to have the centers aligned, right? But again, look what happens. It moves stuff around. So I think I'm going to need to grab or highlight everything that I want to have highlighted, and I'm going to need to select align to key object, and I want this to be my key object, and I want to have the vertical centers aligned. Let's see if that works. So now if I zoom in, I can see that it looks like the gap between each of these is exactly the same. Perfect. It's exactly how I wanted it. So now I can take that, and I'm going to copy and paste it by holding Control, hold Shift down. Oh, where did it go? Let's give that some stroke so I can tell what it looks like. So let's double click on stroke. Maybe let's make it red to match my layer color. select OK. And let's even take that stroke. And if I go to my stroke panel right down here, I can increase the width of that just so I can see it just for now. And again, if I want to find any of those panels, I just go up to Window and I can find that all in here. So it's the stroke panel that I'm working at right now. So hold down Control, hold down Shift to keep it equal, have it lock in place. Let's go one more time. Oh, I don't think I copied and pasted last time. Let's hold down Control again. Oh, because it's Adobe. It's not Control, it's Alt. Because they want to be different than everyone else. And that's okay. So I'll do it again. Okay, so now I have my cut points in the middle there. Let's zoom in just to make sure they lined up properly. Yeah, that looks good. Yep, that looks good. And those ones look good. And if I ever want to just double check to make sure they're in exactly the same spot, if I go to View, here, I can select my rulers, show rulers, and now I can actually drag. I clicked in my ruler zone and I'm going to drag a guide. And I'm going to drop it right at the edge here. And then that's going to allow me just to double check if all of these are lined up properly. And they look pretty good. So that means the bottoms are going to be lined up properly. And now I'm going to do the exact same thing here with a line in here. So again, I still have the two paths, or the two tabs that I'm going to keep. Okay, let's change the stroke. I'm going to make it red. I'm going to increase the weight of it just so it pops out a little bit. I think I had, 4 points, I think the other one was. Now I'm going to use my selection tool, select it, go to my transform box, decide the width that I want it to be. So it's going to be 5.5 minus an eighth minus an eighth. So that's going to be 5.5 minus a quarter. So that's going to be 5 1/4 that I'm going to have left. So 5.25. And I'm going to use my alignment tool to grab this and this, or the path and the box. Hold down Shift. I'm going to select align to my key object. The key object is the base that I want to stay the same, and I'm going to align the centers, but I'm going to do it this way, and now it's going to put it exactly where it needs to be, and it looks great. So I'm almost ready to finish up my design, but I made a little bit of a whoops here, and I realized I wanted to have a tab in the middle here too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my background so I can only see my lines. I'm going to use the direct select tool so I can select my path, and then I'm going to go in under this tool here. It's normally the eraser tool, but it's going to be the scissors tool, and I'm going to select in here where I want this to cut. So I'm going to just zoom in so you guys can see here. So I believe that's about the center. I'm going to click that, and now my line should be in two separate parts. So if I'm going to grab my direct select tool, and I can move it down a little bit, and I'm just watching how far I'm moving it down. So I want to move it down about 1/8 of an inch, so that's about 1.25 or 1.3. That looks pretty good. Now I don't want to do that for every single one, and at the very least I want to make sure that these are the same. So I'm going to do the same sort of trick that I did before with the copying and pasting. So I'm actually going to get rid of these right now, so I don't want them anymore. Oops. There we go. And now I'm going to select these two lines here. I'll even make them a group. So I right click and I'm going to select group. Now I can move them over by holding down Alt and Control and Shift, so it keeps them centered. There we go. There's one copy. Here's one more copy. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's make sure I'm selecting that line. Path. Nope, still not doing it. Let's grab my... Come on. There we go. I selected the path. I think I did. What's going on here? There we go, that's what I want. Now I'm going to hold down Alt and move that over, press Shift to keep it centered. Line it right up into the middle, make sure it's where I want it to be. That looks great, perfect. And I'm just going to do the same thing in here by selecting this line, grabbing my scissors tool, finding the center, which lines up right there, click, and now I can move one of these over just a little bit, direct select. I'm going to move this one over about 0.6 or 0.7, and this one I'm going to move over about negative 0.6. That's roughly in the center. There we go. So my design is ready for me to do the last, final, and crucial step. In this step, I'm going to combine everything. The only problem with combining everything is that there's no way for me to get it back if I don't have a copy of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a copy of these things. So if I grab the layer, I'm just going to hide that panel there. If I grab the layer that I want to see, if I hold down, if I grab that layer and I hold down Alt and then move that around, see how I get a little plus there? That's going to give me a copy of that layer. And I'm going to do the same with this layer here. Hold down Alt, move it in here, and I'm going to change this one to be called Layer 1 Welded. And the relief cuts copy, welded. I might not need this one, but I'm just doing it to all of my layers so I know what I'm doing. So now I'm going to hide the layers that aren't welded, and now I'm going to actually weld these together. So I'm going to use my Pathfinder tool. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select. Let's poke these holes out here first. So I'm going to select both of them. Go to my Pathfinder. Where's my Pathfinder? Here it is. And the overlapping I need to get rid of because that's where I want the hole to be. Boom, there it is. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. You'll notice it changed colors, and that's just because we're keeping the fill color of the top hole. So again, I want to get rid of the parts that are overlapping. Okay. Now I'm going to combine all of my sides. So I'm going to combine them with this tool here and the base as well. And now I want to combine the background and the sides as well. So now I have my final cut path. The only thing I'm going to do is I created some pretty wide stroke for these lines, and I'm going to turn it back to like not a 4-point stroke, probably just the smallest stroke I can get. So to do that, I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to hide my welded relief layer so I can only see the lines. I'm going to grab all of those. Let me move this guide out of here. I just click and drag it off. Grab all of those, go to my stroke panel. Let's change this down to 0.25. Now if I have my welded path here again, if I zoom in, I'm able to see everything. Now this is going to be ready to cut on the CNC plasma cutter. The only thing I have left to do is export it. And the reason why I created separate layers is because if I ever wanted to change something, if I select this now, it's one individual part. The trees are part of the outside frame, and I've actually punched the holes into my lantern as well. So the reason why I still have that is because now, if I can view this, I still have a copy of what I was originally working on, still separated into its parts.